All right, let's talk about a major career move. We're going to map out the journey from being a really good PLC programmer, someone who knows their stuff, to becoming a true automation systems architect. The person who doesn't just program one machine, but designs the entire factory floor. Let's dig into how you make that leap.
So does this question kind of hit home? If you've been in the automation game for a while, you've probably felt this. You're great at your job. You can program a machine with your eyes closed, but you're stuck. You're not getting those chances to design the whole production line, to see the bigger picture. And let me tell you, it's a super common and honestly a really frustrating place to be.
Okay, so let's call this what it is, the programmer's plateau. It's that point where you've got a solid foundation, you're a key part of the team, but your world is kind of confined to that one machine, that one task. So what does that starting point actually look like on a day-to-day basis?
And this right here, this pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Your project is one machine. The most complex integration you're doing is maybe a basic HMI. In your team, you're the programmer. You're executing the plan, not creating it. And your value? Well, it's often measured by the hour, like a technician. You're absolutely skilled, but you can feel that ceiling right above your head.
And yeah, that ceiling, it's got a price tag. In the Indian market, this skill set typically puts you in the 5 to 8 lakhs per annum range. Now that's a solid living for sure, but it doesn't really capture the full potential of what a real automation expert can achieve.
So, the big question is, how do you shatter that ceiling? Well, it's not about just working longer hours. It's about strategically building a bridge that closes that specific gap in your capabilities. This is the exact path from programmer to architect.
And here's the absolute key. This isn't just about watching a few more videos or learning a couple of new tricks. This is about earning a professional engineering certification. It's a fundamental shift in your professional identity, designed to take you from the person who implements the plan to the person who creates the plan.
All right, so if you're going to be an architect, you need an architect's toolkit, right? So what's actually in it? What are these high-level skills that separate a programmer from a true system designer? Let's take a look.
This is really the heart of it. It's all about mastering that big picture. You go from just programming one PLC to designing the whole plant's nervous system with SCADA. You learn to build safety right into the core logic, which is huge. You start handling complex data, connecting the factory floor to the business systems. You're building and troubleshooting entire networks using modern standards like OPC UA. And you start working like a professional software engineer with version control and creating standardized, reusable code. You stop just solving one problem at a time and start building robust, scalable systems.
Now, to learn this stuff, you need the right tools. And let's be real, the professional software suite you'd be using here, we're talking TIA Portal Professional, WinCC, PLC Sim Advanced, that's over 5 lakhs worth of software if you bought it yourself. Just getting to train on these enterprise-level tools is an absolutely massive advantage.
But here's the thing, it's so much more than just getting the software. Your investment unlocks an entire ecosystem. You get the curriculum, of course, but also a professional environment to practice in. You get live, direct access to actual solution architects. You get that all-important professional certificate. And you get to be part of an advanced engineering community for 18 months. It's a whole support system.
Okay, learning all this is great, but you know what really matters in an interview? Proving you can actually do it. The real difference maker is taking all that knowledge and building a portfolio of real industrial-scale projects that you can point to and say, I built that.
And we are not talking about small lab exercises. Look at this portfolio. You're going to architect an entire 22-station bottling plant. You'll tackle a pharmaceutical batch process, which is incredibly complex, an automotive welding line, where safety is absolutely critical, a smart warehouse, even an energy management system that uses data analytics. Seriously, any one of these projects is a major talking point in a senior-level interview.
And then there's this. This is a total game changer. You'll master virtual commissioning. Think about that. You learn how to build, test, and completely debug an entire production line in a digital simulation before a single piece of hardware is even ordered. This skill alone saves companies a fortune and makes you incredibly valuable.
So, you've mastered the architect's toolkit. You've built a killer portfolio to prove it. What happens next? Well, this is where everything changes. We're talking about a complete reinvention of who you are as an engineering professional. Just look at this side by side. The difference is, well, it's night and day, isn't it? Your scope explodes from a single machine to the entire production line. Your integration skills go from just a basic HMI to the whole stack: PLC, HMI, SCADA, safety, data, the works. Your role on the team? You're not just the programmer anymore. You're the lead engineer. You're the architect. And the salary? Well, that takes a huge leap too.
And what this really means is that you're playing in a whole new league. The doors that open up for you are completely different. You're no longer just searching for PLC programmer jobs. You are now a prime candidate for roles like control systems architect, commissioning manager, or a high-paid automation consultant.
And that brings us back to the money, right? That jump we saw, it's a new potential range of 12 to 25 lakhs per year. This isn't just an annual raise. This is stepping into a completely different financial bracket because your value to a company has fundamentally changed.
Okay, so if this transformation is what you're aiming for, what's the next logical step? It really boils down to a shift in mindset, seeing this not as an expense, but as a direct investment in your own future. And the idea is to make that investment as straightforward as possible. You can pay in full and save a bit, or you can split it into 3 monthly installments to make it more flexible. And if you've already gone through the basics program, there's a special price for you. The goal here is to make this next step totally manageable. And look, any big investment can feel a little bit daunting, right? That's why your investment here is completely protected. There's a 21-day professional evaluation guarantee. You get to complete the very first advanced project, and if you don't feel like it's taking your skills to that next level, you can get a full refund. It's that simple. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Once you have the tools, the portfolio, and the certification of a systems architect, the old limits are just gone. The only real question left is, what will you build?